It is Thursday. For joining us, I'm Gary Libitor. Also ahead, the Mohawk Valley Water Authority is considering another proposed rate hike. How much this could impact your bottom line as well. But first, with the chance of some iffy weather as we go through the day, let's start with a check of your morning forecast here with meteorologist Hannah Evans, and it is gorgeous out right now.
Yes, so right now we are a little bit breezy and it's very warm. Temperatures are kind of just around 60 at this point, but things are going to change and we are going to be seeing some pretty heavy rain later on today.
Enjoy it this morning while we have it.
Yes, for sure. So let's take a look now as to why we issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. Widespread heavy rainfall is expected, especially starting in the early afternoon. This could cause some flooding itself, but we are going to be seeing very windy conditions that could blow the leaves off trees, blow the leaves on the roadways, so slippery conditions when driving over wet leaves, as well as some leaks could clog storm drains. That could also cause some flooding and ponding on the roadways. So once again, just be careful when driving, especially for the evening commute. A few thunderstorms are possible, but they look to be non-severe. So as of right now, on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we are dry, but there is a cold front just to the west of us. That looks to bring in this heavy rainfall later this morning into the early afternoon. That's when it does look to start. It is going to be widespread and a lot of rain is expected. So heavy rain today and possibly some flooding. So just be careful when driving, especially for the evening commute. We are going to be drying out early tomorrow morning as the sun comes back out. A little bit cooler tomorrow, but even looking ahead to the beginning of next week, that's when it really looks to cool down, with our temperatures just reaching the 40s and 50s for the high temperature, but that looks to be in the beginning of next week. So for today, we are tracking some showers this morning, then it turns heavy later on this afternoon with a few thunderstorms possible, and I will be breaking all of this down coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks, and don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. You will...
Welcome back. Heavy rainfall is expected, especially this afternoon and evening. So if you are driving during that time, I would just be careful because this time of year, the leaves are going to be on the roadways and driving over wet leaves causes conditions to be very slippery. So definitely leave distance between you and the car in front of you because stopping distance is a little bit longer over wet leaves. So once again, when driving today, definitely with the windshield wipers on, the headlights when it's raining, and just be very careful for slippery conditions because heavy rain is possible and we could be seeing some flooding issues and some ponding on the roadways, especially later on today and for the evening commute. But we do look to dry out for tomorrow and a pretty nice weekend ahead. We are tracking sunshine for Saturday, highs in the low to mid 60s. As for Sunday, a little bit cooler. There is a chance of a few showers, but as of right now, it is looking mostly dry. Temperatures in the 50s. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. As energy prices...
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out cloudy, breezy, and pretty warm this morning, but widespread rain looks to come in this afternoon. So let's take a look at the Cavie Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. Nice and breezy outside. Temperatures are in the 50s at this point, so very warm and warmer than what we have been seeing in the mornings. So taking a look at some temperatures at this point, we have 52 degrees in Dowdesville, Little Falls, 57 degrees in Utica and Whitesboro. And looking to the south, we have 59 degrees in Cooperstown and 57 degrees elsewhere. So very warm to start here this morning. We will stay around this temperature throughout the day, highs just in the low 60s. And at this point, we are still tracking dry but breezy conditions. This is our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. But as we can see, looking to the west, things are about to change here today. There is a cold front that is approaching us at this point. This is bringing in breezy conditions and widespread rain. Looks to start late morning, early afternoon through the evening. It is going to be heavy at times and possibly cause some flooding issues. So we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day for today, just due to the fact we could be seeing some flooding issues because of this widespread rain. We also are going to be seeing higher wind speeds that could kind of blow the leaves off trees, and leaves could fall on the roadways, causing slippery conditions when driving, as well as can clog storm drains. So we just have to be careful of that. Flooding is definitely possible, as well as ponding on the roadways and slippery roadways in general because of wet leaves. There also is some thunderstorms possible, but at this point, thunderstorms are not our main concern. It is going to be the high winds and the heavy rain. So the Storm Prediction Center has put a margin marginal risk for the southern part of our viewing area for seeing some severe thunderstorms. But once again, our main concern is going to be some flooding issues and high winds. Thunderstorms are definitely possible, but at this point, they do look to be non-severe. So the rainfall amount looks to be between 1 and 2 inches, which that of itself can cause some flooding issues and ponding on the roadways. So definitely just be careful when driving, especially for anyone driving during the evening commute. So let's take a look at everything on the Skycast. As for the rest of today, we will remain windy. Rain looks to start around 10:30 this morning with a few showers, but it doesn't look to turn widespread until around 3-4 p.m. As we can see here, this line of heavy rain, a few thunderstorms moving through, and it will remain widespread through the evening and the night hours. Looking to clear out early Friday morning. This is 3 a.m. At this point, we are seeing it start to clear out, and then clouds tomorrow morning do make way for sunshine. A little bit cooler and breezy throughout the day, but overall pretty nice day for tomorrow. Looking ahead to the weekend, even Saturday looks very nice. We will remain a little bit warmer on Saturday. Highs are going to be in the mid to upper 60s with some sun and a little bit of a breeze. But for today, a few showers this morning, and that turns into widespread heavy rain for the afternoon and evening. A few thunderstorms possible, and it is going to be pretty windy. As for tonight, rain continues before clearing out early tomorrow morning. So today has been issued as a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to widespread heavy rain, gusty winds, and we could be seeing some flooding issues, especially with this time of year with the leaves and everything. But we do dry out tomorrow for a pretty nice next 2 days for tomorrow and Saturday, Gary.
So be careful out there later today.
Yes, especially for the evening commute, because that's when it will be heavy and leaves on the roadways and stuff like that.
Things are about to change.
Yes.
Hannah, thanks. The time now is 5:22. This half hour, I'm Gary Libator. There's a chance for some rain today, and it could be heavy at times. Let's start off with a check of your forecast. Meteorologist Hannah Evans joining us now. And what time are we talking this heavy rain moving in?
So it does look like it's going to be early afternoon for the widespread rain to start to move in, and then that lasts through the evening, so the evening commute could be a little bit tricky.
So a drencher coming up.
Yes, it does look heavy at times. So let's take a look now as to why we issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. We are expecting widespread heavy rainfall, and this could cause some flooding issues in itself, but we are also going to be seeing some pretty gusty winds that could blow around the leaves off the trees and onto the roadways, so slippery roadway conditions when driving over wet leaves. And those leaves could clog storm drains, so that could also lead to some flooding and some ponding on the roadways. A few thunderstorms are possible this afternoon, but they look non-severe at this time. And taking a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2.
This is a monthly test of the Emergency Alert System. EAS, the Emergency Alert System, is provided to alert you of actual emergencies. If this had been an actual emergency, the tones you just heard would have been followed by official emergency information and instructions. This concludes this test of the Emergency Alert System.
Breaking all of this down coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. The House Select Committee and
Welcome back. We do look to remain dry early this morning, but as we can see, we start to see a few scattered showers this morning, and then by 10 a.m. really shoots up to likely as a chance of seeing some rain starting to come in. For this afternoon, that is when we will be seeing the widespread rain. It is likely at this time. That lasts through the evening and night hours before dropping back down to dry by around 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we will be completely dry at the time, and there's no chance of rain for either tomorrow or Saturday. 2 very nice days coming up after some heavy rain today. We will remain in the 60s for tomorrow and Saturday. We will start to cool down for Sunday and the beginning of next week with highs just in the 50s, and then even looking ahead to Tuesday, high temperatures look to be just in the 40s. So we will start to see cooler weather coming in early next week. So if you did want to clean up anything from after today, I would definitely do it a little bit later tomorrow, because tomorrow morning things outside may still be a little bit wet, but by Saturday we will be dry, and I would say yes for any outdoor activities or any cleanup on Saturday. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. $13.4 million.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out very mild with cloudy skies and windy conditions this morning, but widespread rain looks to come in for the afternoon. Let's take a look at the Cavite Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. Starting out dry, cloudy, very warm. Temperatures are right around 60 at this point, but as we can see, the wind is picking up. It will remain windy today as a cold front moves through, and that brings in widespread rainfall. So let's start by taking a look at the temperatures, all in the 50s here this morning. 53 degrees in Dalgeville, 57 degrees in Utica, and 58 degrees in Westmoreland. And looking to the south, 60 degrees already in Cooperstown, 58 degrees in Sherburne. We will remain right around the same temperature today. Highs are just looking to be in the low 60s, and we will start to see some rain come in. But as of right now, we are dry, mostly cloudy. This is our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 with Doppler radar. But looking just to the west of us, as we can see, some rain right here. This is all thanks to a cold front, so that will approach us, and especially for the afternoon and evening hours, we will start to see widespread rainfall, and that could cause some flooding issues along with windy conditions. So we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day for today. We are expecting widespread heavy rainfall, especially in the afternoon and evening. That could cause some localized flooding within itself, but we are going to be seeing windy conditions throughout the day that could blow around the leaves off trees and onto the roadways, so very slippery conditions when driving over wet leaves on the roadways. And if those leaves are kind of being blown around going into storm drains, that could clog it. That could also cause some flooding issues and ponding on the roadways. Thunderstorms are possible at this time, but looking to be non-severe. But definitely keep an eye out on the roads, especially during the evening commute, because that is when it's going to be a little bit tricky. It could be slippery, and we could be seeing some ponding and flooding issues. So the Storm Prediction Center has put out a level 1 marginal risk for the southern portion of our viewing area for seeing severe weather today, severe thunderstorms. But our main concern is just going to be high winds and the possibility of flooding, because we're expecting overall about 1 to 2 inches widespread of rain, which is kind of a lot of rain for us. And with the leaves this time of year, that could cause some flooding issues by clogging drains and getting on the roadways. As for this morning, though, we're still tracking dry conditions, cloudy skies. It is a bit windy. The wind will pick up, and by around 10:30 this morning, that is when we start to see some showers coming in. Not widespread at this point. We do look to turn widespread later into the afternoon. We can see 4 p.m. at this point, we are seeing some heavy rain starting to come in. That will last through the evening hours and through the overnight. By around 3 a.m. Friday, we start to see all this clear out and clouds make way for sun on Friday. A very nice day tomorrow, actually. Breezy conditions, highs in the low 60s. It remains nice even on Saturday. We will start out in the 40s for the day, but sun remains throughout the day, and highs are going to be in the mid to upper 60s. As for today, though, kind of gloomy weather, starting out with some showers this morning, turning widespread this afternoon, evening. Few thunderstorms possible, and it is going to be pretty windy. Tonight, the rain continues before drying out early tomorrow morning. Once again, today has been issued as a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to widespread heavy rainfall. That could cause some flooding issues, and we also are going to be seeing very windy conditions. But we do dry out for 2 very nice days tomorrow and Saturday, Gary.
So if you got to get outside, do it this morning, right?
Yes, this morning before the rain comes in. It does look like we are going to start seeing some showers, though, later this morning, but the heavy rain looks to be in the afternoon.
And it is warm out right now.
Yes, it's very warm.
Hannah, thanks. The time now is 5:53. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Libator. Also ahead, the Mohawk Valley Water Authority is considering another proposed rate hike. Just how much it could impact your bottom line. But first, with the chance of some iffy weather today, let's get a check of your Storm Tracker 2 forecast. Meteorologist Hannah Evans joining us now, and that rain is going to get heavy.
Yes, so this morning we are dry, but it looks to turn widespread this afternoon and evening, so definitely causing for some driving issues for the evening commute, so we issued an alert day for today.
So if you got to get outside, do it this morning.
Yes, this morning before the rain comes in. So let's take a look now as to why we issued an alert day. We are expecting widespread heavy rainfall, possibly causing some localized flooding, but we are going to be seeing pretty high wind speeds that could blow around a lot of the leaves, and those leaves could make way onto the roadways, coming wet, and that could cause for slippery conditions, as well as leaves could clog storm drains. That could also cause some flooding and ponding on the roadways. A few thunderstorms are possible at this time, but they look to be non-severe. Our main concern is going to be the heavy rain and the gusty winds. As of right now, we are mostly dry on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Very warm to start this morning and windy. We will remain windy throughout the day, and as this cold front approaches, starting to see some heavy rain, especially in the afternoon and evening, that could possibly cause some flooding. But we will dry out tomorrow. 2 very nice days coming up tomorrow and Saturday after this rainfall today. And after the weekend, it does look like we are going to be a lot cooler with temperatures just in the 50s and 40s as we start next week. But for today, highs in the low 60s. Some rain showers this morning, but not looking to become widespread until later this afternoon and evening. It's going to be windy at times as well, and I will be breaking all of this down coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. You will probably
Welcome back. We are expecting some rain today, so if you are going to be driving this afternoon or evening, definitely be careful, because this time of year with the leaves on the roadways that are wet could be very slippery, so make sure you leave enough space between you and the car ahead of you. The stopping distance is a lot longer over wet leaves because they can cause very slippery conditions. So while you're driving the afternoon, evening, we are expecting heavy rainfall, possibly some flooding issues, so definitely have your headlights on, the wipers, and just be careful for slippery roadways. If you do see areas of ponding, make sure you are driving slow when going through it. But we are going to dry out tomorrow, and the weekend looks pretty nice. On Saturday, sunshine comes in. Highs are going to be in the low to mid 60s. And as for Sunday, a few rain showers are possible, but at this point we are looking mostly dry with a little bit cooler weather, highs in the mid 50s. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. As energy prices rise, brace your
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out very mild this morning and a little bit windy, but widespread rain looks to come in this afternoon. So let's take a look at the Cavie Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. Windy to start, but very warm. Temperatures in the mid 50s, and we are starting out cloudy, but some rain is expected today. So let's start off by taking a look at the temperatures from our sky watchers. We are all in the 50s. 55 degrees in Old Forge, 57 degrees in New Hartford. And looking to the south, we have 58 degrees in Cooperstown and Evanston, and 56 degrees in Hartwick. We will stay right around the same temperature today, reaching the low 60s for the high, and we are tracking widespread rain to start to come in this afternoon. But at this point, we are mostly dry, just mostly cloudy and windy. This is our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, but there is a strong cold front that is going to approach us from the west. That is bringing in those windy conditions, and widespread rain is possible, as well as a few thunderstorms. So we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day for today. Due to this widespread heavy rain, it could cause some localized flooding in itself, but we are going to be seeing very gusty winds with that. And with this time of year with the leaves, those gusty winds could blow the leaves off trees onto the roadways, causing very slippery, wet conditions on the roadways because of those wet leaves, as well as those leaves can clog storm drains. That could lead to some flooding issues, as well as ponding on the roadways. So definitely be careful when driving, especially for the evening commute. A few thunderstorms are also possible, but that is not really our main concern. The Storm Prediction Center has put out a Level 1 marginal risk for the southern portion of our viewing area for seeing some severe thunderstorms, but our main concern is going to be the gusty winds and the heavy rain that could cause some flooding issues today. So we are keeping an eye out on that, and that is why we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day, just due to especially the evening commute. So widespread, it does look like we could be receiving 1 to 2 inches of rainfall all throughout today. So that is a lot of rain in itself, and we could be seeing some flooding. That is why we've issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. So on our Skycast this morning, we are dry, windy, but starting out pretty warm with temperatures in the 50s. We will start to see a few showers coming in this morning. This is 9 a.m. Starting to see some showers at this point, but later this afternoon, that is when the heavier rain comes in. This is 6 p.m. Starting to see heavier rain at this time. Widespread rain is possible throughout the rest of the evening and into the overnight overnight hours. We do look to dry out by 4 a.m. on Friday. We start to see clouds decrease on Friday. A pretty nice day tomorrow. Highs reaching the low 60s with sunshine all throughout the day. And the sun looks to remain on Saturday. We start out in the 40s, but we'll reach the mid to upper 60s for the high temperature on Saturday with sun. So after today, 2 very nice fall days coming up. So some showers are expected this morning, and then widespread rain, a few thunderstorms coming in this afternoon through the evening. It is going to get very windy as well. Rain continues overnight before drying out early tomorrow morning. Once again, today has been issued as a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to widespread heavy rainfall, gusty winds. Could be seeing some flooding issues with that, but we do dry out for a very nice next 2 days, Gary.
So get out there this morning if you have to do something outside today.
Yes, so showers look to come in this morning, but as of right now, we are dry. I mean, the widespread rain doesn't look to come in until later today.
And be careful.
Yes.
Hannah, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. There's a chance for some very heavy rain today. So let's start off with a check of your forecast. Meteorologist Hannah Evans joining us now. And just what time are we talking all that heavy rain moving in?
So we could be seeing some showers this morning and early afternoon, but the heavy rain looks to be late afternoon through the evening, and then it will last overnight.
So be careful during that commute this evening.
Yes, especially the evening commute, because things could be slippery, especially with the leaves now. So let's take a look at why we issued an alert day today. Widespread heavy rainfall is possible, and this in itself could cause some localized flooding and ponding on the roadways. But we are also going to be dealing with very gusty winds that could blow around the leaves, especially the leaves off trees, that could clog some storm drains, and it could cause for some very slippery conditions on the roadways. So just be careful when driving, especially for the evening commute. A few thunderstorms are also possible this afternoon and evening. As of right now, we are mostly dry. This is our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few showers can be expected this morning, but this cold front will be moving in from the west, and the heavy rain looks to be coming in the afternoon through the evening, and it will last overnight, and that will cause possibly some flooding because it is going to be pretty heavy at times. We are going to be drying out early tomorrow morning, and we have 2 very nice days coming up for tomorrow and Saturday with some sun and temperatures in the 60s. But as we head into the beginning of next week, we are tracking cooler weather. Before today, highs are going to be in the low 60s, a few showers, and then heavy rain and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon and evening, along with windy conditions. And I will be breaking all of this down coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection.
Welcome back. We are dry as of right now, but it is possible to see a few scattered showers this morning. But by around noon, very likely we are going to be seeing rain that will last through the afternoon and evening and could become heavy at times. We will really dry out early tomorrow morning, and then dry weather persists for tomorrow and Saturday. 2 very nice days coming up for tomorrow and Saturday after the rain today. So we will remain in the 60s through tomorrow and Saturday with highs in the low to mid 60s, but we do start getting a little bit cooler. On Sunday, highs just in the upper 50s, and heading into Monday, we will be in the mid 50s into the 40s by Tuesday. So if you did want to clean up anything from after today, I would say later tomorrow, because it's still going to be a little bit wet in the morning, so maybe in the afternoon as we do dry out and the sun comes out. And then Saturday, yes, we do have dry conditions throughout the whole day on Saturday. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. 13.4.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out very mild and a little bit windy this morning, but rain is going to come in this afternoon. So let's take a look at the Cavie Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. Still dark out this morning, but mostly cloudy skies, windy conditions, and things are going to change this afternoon as we are forecasting widespread rain to come in. But at this point, according to our sky watchers, just in the 50s, so very warm to start. We have 56 degrees in Inlet and Clinton and 57 degrees in New Hartford. And looking to the south, we have 58 degrees in Cooperstown and Edmiston and 56 degrees in Hartwick. We will stay right around the same temperature today. Highs look to reach the low 60s, and once again, rain looks to come in. But as of right now, just tracking a few light showers. This is our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Later this morning, scattered showers are possible, but widespread rain looks to come in for the afternoon and evening hours. This is all due to this cold front just to the west of us, bringing in windy conditions, widespread rain, and a few thunderstorms are also possible later on today. So we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day for today just due to this widespread heavy rainfall. Localized flooding is possible. We are expecting around 1 to 2 inches of rain widespread. And although we are going to be seeing this heavy rain, we are also going to be seeing pretty gusty winds. And with this time of year, with the leaves changing, these wind speeds could kind of blow around the leaves off trees, definitely blowing the leaves on the roadways, and driving over wet leaves could be very, very slippery. So tricky travel is possible for the evening commute. And these leaves could also clog storm drains. So we also could see some flooding and ponding on the roadways because of that. And as well as a few thunderstorms are possible. So the Storm Prediction Center has put our southern portion of our viewing area in a level 1 marginal risk for seeing some severe thunderstorms later on today. But our main concern for today is going to be gusty winds and flooding that could cause some issues on the roadways. So overall, widespread, we are expecting 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, which in and of itself can cause some flooding issues and ponding on the roadways, but with the leaves and this time of year, we could also be seeing stuff getting clogged and flooding because of that. But for this morning, just a few light showers are possible. The scattered showers do look to start around 9 a.m., starting to come in at this point. We will remain windy throughout the entire day, and the widespread rain looks to come in later on today. So this is 6 p.m., starting to see widespread heavy rain at this point, and this will last through the night hours into early tomorrow morning. So we do look to dry out tomorrow morning. This is 4 a.m. Clouds are even decreasing at this point. A very nice day is in store for tomorrow. A little bit breezy, highs in the low 60s, but we are tracking sunshine. Same thing goes for Saturday. We are going to be seeing beautiful fall weather on Saturday. A little bit breezy, highs in the mid to upper 60s with sunshine once again. So after today, we have 2 very nice days coming up. We just have to get through some showers this morning, widespread rain this afternoon and evening, windy conditions, and a few thunderstorms that could cause for tricky travel, especially for the evening commute. Some rain does continue overnight, but we do dry out early tomorrow morning. So once again, today's a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to widespread heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and possibly some flooding issues. But after today, 2 very nice days coming up for Friday and Saturday, Gary.
So let's hope the flooding isn't too bad tonight.
Yes, we're just keeping an eye on it. Hopefully it's not too bad. The main concern is just going to be with the leaves this time of year that could clog some storm drains.
Hannah, thanks. Well, after multiple previous attempts for joining us here at 7 a.m. on the CW11, I'm Gary Libitor. There is the chance of some iffy weather as we go through this Thursday. Let's start this morning with a check of your Storm Tracker 2 forecast. Meteorologist Hannah Evans joining us from the Weather Center, and that rain is going to get heavy.
Yes, so as of this morning, a few showers are possible, but in the afternoon and evening, it's going to be widespread and it could be heavy at times, so we are keeping an eye out on it.
Definitely will.
Yes, so let's take a look if you are heading out to the bus stop this morning. It is dry at this point, mostly cloudy and pretty mild, a little bit windy, but by the afternoon, rain is possible, so definitely grab the umbrella for the afternoon. It is going to be windy today as well. So a few showers are possible this morning, then widespread rain, a few thunderstorms even coming in late afternoon through the evening. It is going to remain windy, which is kind of going to be blowing the leaves around. The commute, especially in the evening, is going to be very tricky with wet leaves on the roadways. As for tonight, the rain continues before we dry out early tomorrow morning. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good morning, everybody. We are starting out mostly dry but cloudy. It is a little bit windy outside and widespread rain is expected today. So let's take a look now at the Cavie Tower camera. Overlooking the Mohawk Valley, we can see cloudy skies, very windy starting this morning, and widespread rain looks to come in due to a cold front. But we are starting out very mild. According to our sky watchers, we are all in the 50s, 55 degrees in Old Forge and 57 degrees in New Hartford. And looking to the south, we have 57 degrees in Milford and in Lawrence and 56 degrees in Hartwick. We will reach the low 60s today, but we are tracking some showers. This is our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few showers can be expected this morning, but as of right now, we are mostly dry. This is all due to a cold front that is looking to bring widespread rain in for the afternoon and evening that could be causing for some tricky travel issues. So we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day for today. Widespread heavy rainfall is possible, as well as localized flooding from this rainfall. But we are going to be seeing very gusty winds, and with this time of year with the leaves, the wind can blow around the leaves. The leaves could get clogged into storm drains that could also cause some flooding and ponding on the roadways, and driving over wet leaves can be very slippery. So just be careful if you are going to be commuting at all this evening. Thunderstorms are also possible at this time. The Storm Prediction Center has put the southern portion of our viewing area in a level 1 marginal risk for seeing severe thunderstorms, but once again, our main concern is going to be high winds and possibly some flooding with heavy rain and clogging due to leaves being blown around because of these winds. So altogether, we're expecting 1 to 2 inches of rainfall widespread, which is a lot of rain and possibly could cause some flooding. And with the leaves on top of that, ponding is definitely possible on the roadways, as well as some localized flooding. So this is why we issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day for today. We are just keeping an eye out on it, and the rain looks to come in this afternoon and evening. But as of this morning, we are still mostly dry. A few showers can be expected. This is 9 a.m. starting to see a few showers moving in at this point, but the widespread rain isn't really expected until later this afternoon. This is 6 p.m. starting to see rain come in heavy at times, and it will last through the evening and night hours before clearing out early tomorrow morning. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, starting to clear out at this point. Sun will come in tomorrow. A very nice day in store. A little bit breezy, highs in the low 60s. And the sun looks to remain for the day on Saturday. Another nice day on Saturday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, a little bit of a breeze and some sun. So as for today, we are tracking showers this morning, a few showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, but widespread rain comes in this evening. It is going to be windy as well. The rain looks to last overnight, and we will dry out early tomorrow morning. So once again, today's a Storm Tracker 2 alert day.
Not too bad out right now in some spots, but get ready for some heavy rain. Meteorologist Hannah Evans is tracking the system and has the latest information for us this noon. Hey there, Hannah.
Hi, Gary. At this point, we are seeing some rain showers in all of our areas, and we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day because of the potential for heavy rain. So widespread heavy rainfall is possible, especially later in the afternoon and the evening. That could cause some flooding issues. And on top of that, we are going to be seeing some pretty gusty winds that could blow around the leaves onto roadways for slippery conditions when driving, and those leaves could also clog some drains that could cause some flooding and ponding on the roadways. So just be careful throughout today when driving. Even later on, a few thunderstorms are possible. So taking a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, at this point, most of us are seeing some rainfall. The cold front is slowly moving in. A line of thunderstorms are also possible to come in later on into the afternoon around 3 or 4 p.m. So we are keeping an eye out on that, as well as it is pretty windy outside. So there is heavy rain today, winds, and the possibility of flooding due to the rain and the leaves clogging some drains. But the good news is that we are going to dry out tomorrow. 2 very nice days coming in for tomorrow and Saturday. And then looking into next week, cooler weather is ahead. So for the rest of today, we are tracking showers, a few thunderstorms. Rain could become heavy at times with windy conditions, and I will be tracking all of this out coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. The city of Utica is preparing for today's anticipated headwinds, which could pull leaves off of trees and cause them to clog the catch basins, creating some flooding. We spoke with City of Utica DPW Commissioner Dave Short a short time ago as his crews are prepping for the possibility of flooding around the city.
We go and check our main flooding spots like Halleck's Ravine, Arlington Terrace, then we go up to North Utica, check our culverts up there. So we know where our problem areas are. We go up and just make sure that everything's clear and open.
Short says the city DPW crews will be out and about throughout the heavy rains, checking on those catch basins and clearing them out if need be. The House Select Committee investigated
Weather Team. Here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are tracking rain at this time. It is going to become heavier later on this afternoon, and we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day. So let's take a look now at the Cooperstown camera. It is also very windy outside, so we can see dark skies, some rain falling down. You can see the flag and the trees moving. It is a bit windy, so just keep that in mind when heading out, and definitely be careful when driving in wet areas because the leaves are on the roadways, and that could be very slippery. As of right now, we are kind of around the same temperature temperature as we were this morning, in the upper 50s to low 60s, 56 degrees in Boonville and Gray, 62 degrees in Mohawk. We will remain around the same temperature today with highs just in the low 60s. And at this point on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we are tracking rain in most of our areas. It is looking to become heavier this afternoon as this cold front really starts to approach us and move through. There also is a line of thunderstorms forming along the cold front, so we may be seeing some thunderstorms moving through, and it is very windy outside. So we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day today due to widespread heavy rainfall that could be causing some localized flooding. And our main concern is going to be gusty winds as well, because that could blow around a lot of the leaves off the trees. That could clog some drains that used to empty out rain from the storms, and those leaves could go on the roadways, causing slippery conditions when driving. There also is a few thunderstorms possible. They do look non-severe at this time, but they could become severe because it is very windy. So the National Weather Service has put out a wind advisory until 4 p.m. this afternoon due to strong 20 to 25 miles per hour wind speeds and gusts up to 45 miles per hour, specifically in Oneida, Madison, and in Lewis counties. Now, once again, because of that wind speed, the Storm Prediction Center has put out a level 1 marginal risk for seeing severe thunderstorms for most of our viewing area for the rest of this afternoon. The main concern today is going to be these high winds and the possibility of flooding due to the heavy rainfall and the leaves that could clog some storm drains and cause some ponding on the roadways. Now let's take a look at everything on the Skycast. We are tracking windy conditions. At this point, a few showers. They are going to become heavier as the cold front approaches, and a line of thunderstorms are possible to move through. This is 6 p.m. At this point, seeing some thunderstorms approaching us and that rain becoming widespread at this point throughout the rest of the night. We do look to dry out early tomorrow morning. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, and tomorrow looks to be a pretty nice day. Highs reaching the low 60s, a little bit breezy, but we will be seeing the sun. Same thing goes for Saturday, another nice fall day coming up with high temperatures reaching the mid to upper 60s, a little bit of a breeze, but sunshine. So for the rest of the day, we are tracking heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and a few thunderstorms possible with highs just in the low to mid 60s. And tonight, a low just in the mid 40s. We are going to be seeing rain showers throughout the night, and it looks to end early tomorrow morning. Today has been issued as a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and the possibility of some flooding and some thunderstorms. But we do dry out to some very nice days tomorrow and Saturday. Back to you, Gary.
Anna, thanks. Health officials. Welcome back. Let's start this half hour with a look at that heavy rain that's heading our way. Meteorologist Hannah Evans tracking the system in the Weather Center. And Hannah, there is the potential for some flooding out there.
Yes, we are seeing heavy rain, but especially this time of year with the leaves, they could clog the storm drains. So that is why there's the potential of some flooding for the rest of the day.
That's why we saw those city crews out there trying to clear them, too.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So let's take a look now at why we did an alert day for today. We are expecting widespread heavy rainfall, especially starting later on today, and that could cause some localized flooding within itself. But with the gusty winds and this time of year with the leaves, those winds could blow the leaves off the trees. They can get on the roadways, be very slippery when driving, and they could clog some storm drains. So flooding is possible that way, as well as ponding on the roadways. A few thunderstorms are also possible later on. So taking a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, most of us are seeing rain. It is going to get heavier as the afternoon progresses, and a cold front is still approaching us from the west. Could be bringing in a few areas of thunderstorms and heavier widespread rain throughout the rest of the evening. So today we are tracking heavy rain, high winds, and the possibility of some flooding, but we do dry out tomorrow, and 2 very nice days are on the horizon for tomorrow and Saturday with some sun, of 2 beautiful fall days ahead. And then after this weekend, it is going to get a little bit cooler, trending next week. So for today, expect heavy rain, a few areas of thunderstorms, very gusty winds, and I will be tracking all of this out coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Hannah, thanks. Cities across Ukraine.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Hannah Evans.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are tracking rain as of right now, along with very windy conditions and cloudy skies. So let's take a look at our Cooperstown camera. We are seeing cloudy skies and rain. As we can see, it is very windy. We can see the flag blowing and the trees blowing here for the rest of the afternoon. And the rain is going to get a little bit heavier by this evening. But taking a look at our temperatures, not really changing much since this morning. According to our sky watchers, we are mainly in the upper 50s to low 60s. We have 57 degrees in Old Forge, 62 degrees in Mohawk, and 59 degrees in Cassville. And taking a look now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At this point, most of us are seeing rain. It is looking to pick up and get a little bit heavier later this afternoon into the evening, and does look to last overnight into early tomorrow morning. This is all due to this cold front, so once this approaches us, even a few areas of thunderstorms are expected, and we will remain windy for the rest of the day. Now, because of all this, we have issued a Storm Tracker 2 alert day just due to the widespread heavy rainfall, the localized flooding possible from the rain itself, but also very windy conditions that could blow around a lot of the leaves off the trees into the storm drains that could cause some flooding that way, and those leaves could stick to roadways and become very, very slippery, so just be careful when driving. A few thunderstorms are also possible later this evening, and because of the high winds, the National Weather Service has put out a wind advisory for Lewis, Oneida, and Madison County until 4 p.m. this afternoon. There are strong 20 to 25 miles per hour wind speeds with wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour. And with these wind speeds, debris can also fly in the roadway, so be careful of that as well. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has put most of our area in the level 1 marginal risk of seeing some severe thunderstorms, but that is mainly because it is very, very windy. High winds is our main issue today, as well as localized flooding, because the rain is going to get a lot heavier as the day progresses. So we are keeping an eye out on that, and make sure you keep an eye out on the sky for the rest of the afternoon and evening. So as of right now, most of us are seeing rain, not too heavy yet. It does look to get a little bit heavy later this evening. This is 6 p.m. At this point, seeing some thunderstorms rolling in and heavy rain that is going to be widespread along with those windy conditions. So be especially careful with the evening commute when you are driving, especially with leaves on the roadways. We do look to dry out tomorrow. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Starting to see the sun come back out, and we will be seeing sunny skies tomorrow with highs in the low 60s. Just a little bit of a breeze. Tomorrow actually looks to be a beautiful fall day. Same thing for Saturday. A nice day ahead on Saturday, with high temperatures in the mid to upper 60s and sunshine once again. So we just have to get through today before 2 very nice fall days. Highs today in the mid 60s with heavy rain, gusty winds, and a few thunderstorms possible. As for tonight, rain lingers overnight before it ends early tomorrow morning. So today is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day due to widespread heavy rain, gusty winds, possibly some flooding issues, and a few thunderstorms. But we do dry out to 2 beautiful days tomorrow and Saturday. Back to you, Gary.
Be careful out there today. Hannah, thanks. As energy prices
Off tonight, many top stories tonight, including a severe storm that brought conditions favorable for a tornado in northern Oneida County this afternoon. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking from the Weather Center.
Yeah, we've been investigating this throughout the afternoon. We had a rotating storm, we had a tornado warning. Meteorologist Eric Gage and myself on television cutting into programming while there was some danger. Where we stand right now, we don't have a confirmation of the tornado. We don't have any damage reports, and without damage, as far as we know, there's no tornado that touched down in the area. But we're going to dive into what we were looking at earlier today, a little bit later in the newscast. Let's take a live look at what's happening now. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're getting heavy rainfall across Herkimer County, between Herkimer, Fulton, and Montgomery counties. Some downpours that are taking place. And like we mentioned yesterday, the leaves are coming down on some of the roadways, and it's making for a very slippery evening commute. And some of those leaves could also get caught in storm drains. So there could be some localized flooding on your drive home as well. Certainly some ponding on roadways. So pretty nasty evening out there with some locally heavy rainfall that looks to continue. Temperatures will be in the 50s. This is all part of a cold front that will bring us some drier weather as we head into the start of the weekend. We're tracking some cooler weather ahead as well. Look at that forecast is coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The city of Utica prepared for tonight's heavy rain and strong winds by checking and clearing ravines, culverts, and storm drains. We spoke with the City of Utica DPW Commissioner Dave Short as his crews had a big job today. They're not just worried about the wind blowing the leaves off the trees and into catch basins, clogging them. Mother Nature and homeowners had a head start.
Especially now that we're in bulk green waste, we know there's green waste out on the curb. So with heavy rains and winds, sometimes that pushes those leaves down towards the catch basins and they cover over. So we're out there this morning in our routes, and we'll keep an eye on it as the storm progresses.
And Commissioner Short says if you, as a homeowner, have a catch basin in front of your house, it would greatly help if you could clear it. Utica police arrested
All right, we continue to track steady, heavy rainfall moving across central New York. Let's take a live look outside. This is our CAV tower cam. And we're seeing a little bit less leaves on the trees, although they are still holding on pretty good here, at least from our vantage point here on Smith Hill. There's been a lot of leaves getting knocked off the trees today, especially in areas that were near peaks, so the Adirondacks, seeing a lot of leaves off the trees. And we're still dealing with that rain this late this afternoon and early this evening. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The rain continues to fall heavy in the Mohawk Valley between Little Falls and heading towards St. Johnsville. This line will very slowly push to the east. We don't have any severe weather, but there could be some gusty winds along the leading edge of this. This is a cold front that will continue to move through the region. You can see rain continues out towards Syracuse. The rain will become lighter as we head into this evening and tonight. But again, conditions, at least over the next several hours, will be kind of tricky. With leaves on the roadways, it will make things slippery, and we will still have the possibility of some localized flooding where storm drains get clogged. Rainfall today, 1 inch in Woodgate, Camden, 69/100ths of an inch, about a ½ an inch of rainfall in Old Forge, and lesser amounts in Herkimer and Lawrence, where the rain just took a little bit longer to get to. These rainfall totals come from New York State Mesonet. The rain will continue as we head into tonight, and then the rain comes to an end by tomorrow morning. A pretty sharp cutoff with this, so once the rain comes to an end, we'll dry out pretty quickly, and we'll see some sunshine here heading into Friday. Local temperatures are cooler in the wake of the front. We were in the 60s earlier this afternoon, but you can see temperatures have been knocked down recently. Dolgeville 53, Whitesboro 51, 47 degrees in Big Moose. Across the southern valleys, Sherburne 55, Cooperstown 63, and Skenevis with 61. So again, that cold front again sweeping through the region, producing a line of gusty winds and even that rotating storm across the northern Oneida County. This line will continue to move to the east. In its wake, we've got some dry air that should punch in as we head into the day tomorrow. Timing out the rain here, coming to an end overnight. Temperatures will gradually settle back into the low 40s. We start out Friday morning with sunshine. Looks like a nice day, and also still pretty warm. Temperatures climb into the 60s with a light breeze. Remaining dry Friday nights, and Saturday looks like a nice start to the weekend. We start out in the low 40s. We'll climb into the mid to upper 60s heading into Saturday afternoon. Rain comes to an end tonight, low 43. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the low 60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, Saturday and Sunday, the weather looks pretty decent. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s by Sunday afternoon. Comet's home opener, looking at some rain on Monday, and it's chilly. In fact, cold enough for maybe some snow showers on Wednesday, mainly in the hilltops, temperatures in the 40s. And coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to dive into that rotating storm that took place earlier today.
My goodness, did you dive in earlier? Just a little behind the scenes. Bill comes in, what was it, about 2 o'clock, a little after 2. Superman pulls off his flannel, mics up, goes on. I couldn't even believe it. With seconds,
Sometimes
we were on the air.
We were caught off guard, but we got here, so Eric helped us out too.
Well, and
yeah.
you were tracking all day on your phone
Yeah.
and whatnot.
That was wild.
Great job, Bill. Thank you. The Genesis Group is shining a spot because this is an alert day. We don't want to keep you away from the Weather Center too long. Let's get you back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis, who continues to track the storms.
Yeah, it's been a very busy afternoon here in central New York. We are tracking rain currently, heaviest east of Utica. In fact, heavily raining in western Fulton, Montgomery, and eastern Otsego County. I wanted to touch upon something that happened earlier today. We had a rotating storm that took place in northern Oneida County. It prompted the National Weather Service to issue a tornado warning. I want to go backwards in time here and show you a couple of the things that we were watching and we were studying really closely. There was rotation that was spotted on the radar, and when that happens, the Weather Service often issues a tornado warning, especially when that rotation was really concentrated. We saw that in the Boonville area. We also detected what looked like a very faint debris signature, and we did some investigating here. That signature was very, very weak, and it's possible that there could be some contamination with that. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we have not had any damage in this area. And of course, if there's no damage, no tornado. We'll continue to investigate this further, but that's where we stand as of now. And again, on the radar, we will continue to see rain across the area. The heaviest will continue to push east, and rain will eventually come to an end as we head into tonight. Again, still concerned this evening about slippery roads with wet leaves, as well as the possibility of some clogged storm drains. But again, once we get through tonight, things will start to settle down, and we've got some nicer weather in our future, especially as we look ahead to the weekend, which we will do in just a few moments. Kristen, back over to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. With the onset of flu season, health officials are urging people to get the flu shot and a new COVID. Good evening once again. The Storm Tracker 2 team has had this day circled on their calendar for a few days now, knowing high winds were going to be a source of damage. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is keeping us up to date from the Weather Center.
Yeah, we're talking about this cold front that was going to basically be the instigator for this, and it came through, and a lot of places getting hit with some pretty heavy rain and some gusty winds. We even had that rotating storm that prompted the tornado warning to be issued by the National Weather Service. And again, we're continuing to keep an eye on things, but we didn't get any damage in that specific area. So as far as things stand with that, no tornado confirmed. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Heavy rain continues to move east of Utica down into the Mohawk Valley. We're seeing widespread showers across the area this evening. Lots of leaves coming down, especially in areas that were near peak over the weekend. And those leaves coming down, creating some slippery roads. That was one of the concerns about today. Just wanted to remind folks that slippery roads from wet leaves could take a car more than 3 times longer to stop compared to dry roads at 40 miles an hour. So that's what we've got going on this evening. Just be careful if you're going to be heading out. Looking at widespread rain to continue this evening, temperatures in the 50s. The weather does dry out tomorrow, and we're looking at a nice start to the weekend. Going to look at that forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
All right, speaking of roads, construction season is not over yet, and many local, longer-term projects continue. News Channel.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We continue to track a round of heavy rain moving through central New York on this alert day. Let's take a live look outside. Our Cooperstown camera is looking wet. The leaves are coming off the trees. You can see a few bare trees in the front of the picture here. That is one of the concerns that we have today. As we lose leaves and they make it to the ground, they make slippery roads. And again, it takes 3 times longer to stop on leaf-covered wet roadways, and some of these leaves could get clogged in storm drains. It's still a possibility as we head into this evening, though the rain is becoming less heavy, especially as you head to the west. Let's live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Heavy rain continues for Fulton, Montgomery, Hamilton counties. This is the leading edge of a cold front, a push of cooler weather. More rain continues to the west, so it will be several more hours before the rain comes to an end, but the really heavy rainfall is starting to exit parts of our area. Chance for rain continues as we head into tonight, and then it abruptly comes to an end towards sunrise. So looking at dry weather here for Friday, we'll get a chance to dry out somewhat heading into Friday. Certainly by Saturday, I think we'll see some drier weather and some of those a chance to dry out. Let the leaves dry out, be able to cut the lawn or rake the yard as we head into the weekend. The wind, breezy conditions today. The wind's back off tomorrow, but the winds are back for Saturday. Saturday's looking to be a breezy day. Less wind on Sunday and Monday. Skywatchers checking in. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Norway 52. Schuyler, John with 48. Boonville 49. Clinton 51. Across Southern Valleys, temperatures are a little bit warmer, where it's taking longer for that cold air to work in. West Lawrence 58. Milford 54. And Eaton, Lyman checking in with 52 degrees. So again, that cold front continues to approach the area and move through, bringing with it widespread steady rainfall. This is tomorrow's weather. We'll get a break in the weather Some sunshine is expected as we head into the afternoon time, and the weather looks generally nice as we head into the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight, rain comes to an end. We're thinking a general quarter of an inch of rainfall between now and tonight across a good portion of the area. Overnight lows drop down into the low 40s. Friday looks nice, sunshine, cool start. The sun continues throughout the afternoon. High temperatures climb into the low to mid 60s. Clear skies heading into Friday nights. Great weather for high school football, and the weather looks nice on Saturday as well. There will be a very weak cold front moving in from the west, and that could prompt a brief shower Saturday night into early Sunday. Rain ending tonight, low of 43. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high temperature of 61. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, a generally nice weekend is expected. Temperatures in the 60s Saturday and upper 50s on Sunday. Comet's home opener is looking wet on Monday, and it gets chilly here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A cold rain, even some snow showers possible along higher terrain. Highs only in the 40s. Coming up at 6 o'clock. We're giving you an update on that rotating storm that prompted the tornado warning earlier today. Stay with us.
Yes, I'm Kristen Copeland. Jason has the night off. We have all of those stories straight ahead, but we do need to get you to the Weather Center, where Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis has been tracking today's severe weather.
Yeah, we had that tornado warning that was prompted from that line of storms that came through earlier this afternoon. We've been investigating this, and we have not found any damage in that area that had storm rotation. So where we stand as of this evening, no tornado touchdown. We'll continue to we'll continue to keep an eye on things and let you know if anything changes. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, continuing to track heavy rainfall, now moving to the east towards Fulton, Montgomery, eastern Otsego County. We are still tracking some issues here that we talked about yesterday with falling leaves leading to slippery roads and possible clogged storm drains as rain continues, and a little bit of a breeze as well. Rainfall totals today were less than an inch for most areas. Woodgate did get over an inch of rain. Camden, about 3/4 of an inch of rain. Old Forge, a half an inch. And, of course, we're still adding totals here because we're still in the middle of this. Rain will continue this evening, and it will lighten up as we head into tonight. We're looking at a drier and nicer weather as we start the weekend. A look at that forecast is coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The City of Utica DPW crews were quite busy today in anticipation of the heavy rain and strong winds that were going to pull the leaves off the trees and flood the catch basins. Those leaves are also leaves that homeowners raked into nice, neat piles that aren't staying that way right now. We spoke with the City of Utica DPW Commissioner Dave Short as his crews prepared for the possibility of flooding because of these leaves.
You know, if they have a catch basin in front of their house, and they should know if they do or not, if they could just help us out and keep it clear. And that does wonders for us if we can have the cooperation of the homeowner.
City DPW crews are still out and about, keeping an eye on the roads and clearing the catch basins as needed. Utica police arrested a man.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We continue to track widespread rain and some slippery roads as leaves continue to fall from the trees. This is a live look outside the Sarkavi Tower Cam. We are looking at still a lot of nice color here on Smith Hill, but there are a few bare trees out there as well. And again, some of those leaves coming down on the roadways, making them slippery. Also, clogged storm drains, still a possibility as we head into this evening. Things to keep in mind as we move forward. The rain is not going to end anytime soon. The really heavy rain is starting to push to the east, though. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The rain will be coming to an end as we head into tonight. If you were watching television earlier today, you might have saw meteorologist Eric Gage and myself on cutting into programming. We had a tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service. Just want to give you some insight as to how we figure out if one actually hit the ground. We look for debris. We look for rotation. We had plenty of rotation in that storm earlier today, and that is what initially prompted the warning. This looks like a very weak debris signature. However, we're missing the most important piece. We haven't had any damage reported in this area. We even sent our own crews up there to find out if that happened and came back empty-handed, which we're happy about, but we just want to let you know that No confirmation of a tornado here, even with that tornado warning. Our chance for rain will be diminishing as we head into tonight. By tomorrow, we're looking at dry conditions and improving weather across the area, and we're expecting dry weather to last as we head into the weekend. The winds pick up again on Saturday, but it is looking dry. We'll have light winds hanging around as we head into early next week. So we'll see a few more falling leaves here as we start the weekend, but no rain is expected once we get through tonight. Norway, 52 degrees, Mohawk, 54. It is a lot cooler this afternoon compared to earlier today in the wake of that cold front. Across the southern valleys, Cooperstown 62, Frankfort 48, and Whitesboro checking in with 51 degrees. Rain continues tonight as the cold front slowly pushes to the east. This will be our weather tomorrow. We'll get some clearing skies and some sunshine, and again, a pretty nice finish to the work week. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, rain continues tonight. By tomorrow morning, the rain cuts out at around 3 to 4 a.m., setting the stage for a sunny start to Friday. Beautiful Friday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 60s. We're dry Friday night. Overnight lows drop down into the low 40s. And a nice start to the weekend. Expecting plenty of sunshine Saturday. There will be a very weak cold front that arrives Saturday night that might spark a shower here after sunset. Tonight, rain ends, low of 43. Sunshine tomorrow, beautiful day. Temperatures in the low 60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Mid 60s Saturday, upper 50s on Sunday, a generally dry weekend. Monday, rain returns for the Comets home opener, and it gets chilly. We're in the 40s here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Cold enough for some hilltop snowflakes possible heading into Wednesday. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Still ahead here on News Channel 2 at 6 as the Utica.
For joining us. Today was a News Channel 2 alert day, and while the wild weather, of course, is behind us, we want to take a moment to break down the severe weather that we saw in northern Oneida County. Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. We could have had some nasty things happen up there. We were very fortunate it didn't go that way.
Yeah, we were tracking a rotating storm. This got a lot of attention. The National Weather Service out of Binghamton issuing a tornado warning around 2:30 this afternoon. And we just wanted to give folks an update on what we've been working on since that warning was issued. What we were tracking was this area of rotation that was right over Boonville. Okay. And when warnings are issued, it's when the Doppler radar indicates rotation. We don't necessarily know if it's on the ground at the time. And then afterwards, we go and we try and investigate. One thing that was interesting is we were looking inside of that storm and we saw what we thought was a debris signature. It was really weak, but what ended up happening was we didn't have any damage reported in the area. So while we had rotation, while we had what looked like a weak debris signature, without damage, there was no tornado.
Right, and we sent Ben Kinney up to check. We didn't see anything, any noticeable damage. Could have been something in a cornfield somewhere, but we're not seeing anything of that.
Right, and unless we get damage, we can, at least for now, say that there was not a tornado on the ground up in Boonville. So we are tracking some rain this evening. Things are starting to slow down a little bit. We have been concerned about the rain. Thankfully, that hasn't caused any big issues. The road's still a little bit slippery with leaf-covered roadways, and we do expect the rain to continue as we head into tonight. The heaviest rain is now pushed to the east, so going forward, I don't think we're going to see too much more in terms of accumulation. We did get a decent amount of rain across the area, totals between about a half an inch to an inch region-wide. Tonight, rain comes to an end. Overnight lows drop down into the low 40s. We're tracking nicer weather as we head into the weekend. Look at that forecast that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. We are following breaking news out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Welcome back. We continue to track rain falling across central New York. This is a live look at our CAV tower cam. Rain is heaviest east of Utica. We still have another round that will be approaching the area from the west. That'll be around tonight. So continuing to see some rain across the area overnight. The risk of rain is going to drop tremendously as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. We're looking at generally dry weather. As we walk you through our chance of rain, again, once we get through tonight, it's looking dry heading into Friday evening and into Friday night, as well as Saturday. The weather looks pretty decent. And again, just a reminder that when the roads are wet and leaf covered, it can take as long as 3 times longer to stop a car. And again, those roads are looking wet and the leaves are on the ground in a lot of areas tonight. Looking at the winds here over the next couple of days, I don't think we're going to have much more leaf fall. Winds will be pretty light tomorrow. Breezy conditions for Saturday, and then light winds Sunday and Monday. If you have some cleaning up to do with today's weather knocking down some of those leaves, think you'll be able to clean the yard up over the next couple of days. The weather should cooperate. We're looking at generally nice weather. Tomorrow we'll take you hour by hour. We'll start out in the 40s and we'll end in the low 60s. So a generally nice afternoon. It's looking dry as well with a light breeze. So look at the radar and satellite image. A cold front continues to march to the east. This is what brought us widespread rain and some gusty winds. In the wake of the front, the weather does dry out, and we're looking at some nice weather here for tomorrow. Let's time things out. Tonight, the rain continues, and as we head into tomorrow, it abruptly ends. Not only does the rain end, but the clouds are going to be in a hurry to leave. So we start out tomorrow morning with sunshine and a generally nice start. You'll need the sunglasses. Mostly sunny skies throughout the day, warming up into the low 60s. The weather looks great for high school football. We'll stop things at 6 o'clock. We're in the 50s under sunny skies, clear skies tomorrow night. As we head into Saturday, the weather looks nice too. We'll start out with sunshine, highs in the low, or temperatures start out in the low 40s Saturday morning, and we'll climb into the mid to upper 60s Saturday afternoon. Might see a sprinkle here Saturday night, but other than that, it should be pretty quiet heading through the weekend. Rain comes to an end tonight, a low of 43. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, temperatures in the low 60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, a generally nice weekend ahead, mid 60s on Saturday, upper 50s Sunday. For the Comets home opener Monday, we're tracking rain and the weather looks a lot cooler. Big drop in temperature, early in the 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it looks cold enough for some snow showers along the higher terrain. We'll be right back.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, today, of course, was a News Channel 2 alert day. Joining us now, Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. Want to break down the severe weather that we saw in northern Oneida County. Could have been pretty bad. Fortunately, it was not.
And this got a lot of attention. The National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning earlier today. We ended up breaking into programming for about a half an hour, meteorologist Eric Gage and myself. And this is what we were looking at, some rotation taking place up towards Boonville. We look for rotation with possible tornadoes. Again, when we're looking at this information, this isn't telling us what's happening on the ground. So we rely on reports and damage. What we saw was interesting, too. This is a very faint, what we thought was a debris signature here. But it turns out we didn't have any damage reported in the area. And it wasn't from a lack of effort either.
Absolutely. We sent our own Ben Kinney up there to see if he could find damage. He drove around that whole area, didn't see anything. So that's the good news.
Yeah, the good news is no damage, no tornado, but it was pretty close this time around. And as we move forward, we're tracking the leftovers of this weather system on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're still seeing rain on the backside of this cold front. Rain will continue as we head into tonight. This is totals so far. An inch in Woodgate, 3/4 of an inch in Camden, about a half an inch of rainfall today in Westmoreland, Herkimer, and Lawrence. And these rainfall totals come from the New York State Mesonet. Rain ends tonight down to 43. We are looking at a lot nicer weather as we head into the weekend. We're going to look at that weekend forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. We're following breaking news out of
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We are tracking rain still on our CAV tower cam as we overlook the city of Utica. The rain will continue tonight. It's not going to be all that heavy, but it is still going to be slippery on roadways. We saw a lot of leaves falling in the area today. Falling on roadways, again, making things slippery. The rain will be coming to an end as we head into tonight. It's going to abruptly end. And once the rain comes to an end, we're looking at clearing skies. The sun is back tomorrow, and it's looking to be a nice finish to the work week and a nice start to the weekend. We're looking at dry conditions through Saturday, and then we might see a few sprinkles heading into Saturday night. And just a reminder, with leaves on the ground and with wet roads, that combination makes the car take 3 times longer to stop at 40 miles an hour. Again, some slippery roads will continue here tonight as well as early tomorrow. The wind outlook, not much wind tomorrow. We'll get a break from that. But Saturday has breezy conditions and then light winds for Sunday and Monday. If you do have some cleanup to do, you'll have opportunities over the next couple of days. Tomorrow looks dry from start to finish, but the leaves are going to take a little while to dry out. The weather looks nice Saturday and Sunday, dry. Nice stretch of weather here as we head into the weekend. Let's take you around the clock tomorrow, starting out with temperatures in the 40s at 7 a.m. We'll warm up into the low 60s by the afternoon. Again, looking at dry weather throughout. This cold front that brought some gusty winds and locally heavy rain is now moving to the east. In its wake, we're going to get a punch of some dry weather that will work into the region for the next couple of days. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Rain comes to an end. Watch how fast we clear out. We go from rain at 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning to sunshine by 7 a.m. And temperatures will be cool to start out. We'll be in the low 40s. By the afternoon, temperatures warm up. We'll be in the low 60s in the afternoon with plenty of sunshine. Great weather for high school football tomorrow night. Looking at dry conditions and light winds. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Heading into tomorrow night, the weather remains on the cooler side. We'll drop down into the upper 30s to low 40s. Nice start to the weekend. Saturday, sunshine. Looks nice. Looking at warmer temperatures too. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. Not bad for the middle of October. Slight chance of a shower here Saturday night, and then we'll get a chance to dry out again as we head into Sunday. The rain ends tonight down to 43. Beautiful day tomorrow. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures in the low 60s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We've got a pretty decent weekend here. Temperatures in the 60s Saturday, slightly cooler Sunday, 59. The rain returns on Monday for the Comets home opener. Temperatures in the mid 50s. It gets chilly. Still looking at highs in the 40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Cold enough for some snow showers along hilltops as we look ahead to Wednesday. We'll be right back.